Hello everybody, welcome back to Interactive Studios where we showcase the latest and greatest games available at your favorite retailers. Today's game is The Outer Worlds and we are playing on the Xbox One X. My name is Unreal S-Talk, and if you have any questions about The Outer Worlds, you're more than welcome to ask. So send your questions through that chat box, whether you're watching from Facebook, a retailer's website, or from Mixer, and you can definitely say hello, say hi, say hey, and I'll say hey back and answer any questions that you have about The Outer Worlds. We're going to dive back into the action. Now, The Outer Worlds, in case you don't know, is a single-player, first-person RPG game. So the game takes a lot from Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4 with a sci-fi twist. It's awesome. I love a good RPG game, and this definitely is a classic. It uses a classic approach. So many different options, so many different paths to take, so many different people to be. Like you can be a thief, you can be a good guy, you can be a bad guy, you can be whatever you want. You can have enemies, you can have friends. It's all up to you, and I love how you get that option to play how you want to play. So we're continuing our mission. We're following the main missions at the moment. There are lots of different side missions that you can embark on. They help give you XP. So you get lots of XP there to level up, where you get skill points that you can spend as well as perk points. Now, it's really important that you're investing in skills, as it does help you progress through the game a lot. So you'll be able to get out of situations using your dialogue skills. So whether you want to lie or you want to persuade people or intimidate people, it's all up to you. But you won't have that option unless you invest skill points into that skill. Now, what's so cool is that up until a certain point, so when you invest skills into skill trees, those skill points are used for all of the skills within that category up until you get that rank to 50. Once you reach 50, then you actually have to use skills or spend them in specialized skills there. So whenever we spend skills, we have points available. Let me show you. So I'm going to spend them here in, do I want dialogue or stealth? Let's increase our tech. So you can see as we add points in, they all get one added, but once we reach level 50, we'll have to choose individual ones to spend on. There we go. Actually, let me revert all. I really want to put them into stealth because I need to get my lock picking up. We reached level 50. Awesome. So then now we can increase this. Okay, cool. Alright, so that's done. So we are going to this marker. We can fast travel. I might check if I can fast travel to be helpful. Yes, we can. So let's do that. Fast traveling is great, so you can fast travel within different locations that you have visited on a planet, or you can actually fast travel between planets as well in the colony. Now, the game is based in this colony, which is on the edge of the galaxy. So we are a human. We came from Earth. We were sent on a ship called the New Hope, or the Hope, New Hope, I think it's what it's called, and it was lost. They went missing, and it's like we've been frozen on it, I think for over 50 years or up to 70 years. A mad scientist named Phineas, he revived us, but he wants us to help him locate more chemicals, more materials, so he can revive everybody else on there, as he believes that the board, who is, you could say, they are in charge. So they're the corporate board, so they're in charge of the colony. He thinks that they're not really doing a great job, and he wants to kind of not, I think he wants to overthrow them, but he feels like having these people from Earth will help bring balance to the colony. Now, the thing is, the board have a bounty on his head. So it's like, whose side do we believe? But we're going to pursue with the story. I know that we can actually go in and we can give him up. We can claim the bounty on his head. We can tell him, hey, I know where Phineas is. But I don't know how that would change the story. Because all your actions, they have consequences. Whoa.
Nice work.
One more to go. There we go.
Nothing like a good tussle.
Good job. Oh, whoa. The plasma cutter. So there are slicers, dices, cauterizers. There are different weapon types in the game, so it's awesome that you're not just stuck with using a sword or a gun or different, like an assault rifle or a handgun or a grenade launcher. Within each category of weapon, there's like subcategories. So you have weapons that have different powers. This is a plasma cutter, so there's weapons that have plasma. There's weapons that have shock. There's like this poison, it's like science effect. There's the N-ray. So you have different varieties of weapons, and I absolutely love that. You know, you'll find that some of these are better used on some enemies. For example, this weapon that we're using at the moment, which I think is a plasma weapon or science, or uses energy. This was a plasma weapon. This weapon is crazy against all types of enemies. Does a really good job. Oh, Cecilia, I remember you.
Well, new business turns up at... Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
This game
That you
is
did,
big on
sir.
advertising as
How
well.
can yield
So there's a lot of
improvements of
detail. Like
26.7%
it's hard to just
quintuple?
put it all
How
in
can
one
32%
sentence or
cost
paragraph.
savings
This game
not
offers
moisten the
so much to
loins?
the people who play. They
Often
put so
posed
much
to be
detail
very
in different
questions.
aspects across the whole
Clear my
game. It's
schedule.
crazy,
This
ranging from
newcomer
like
has a
enemy
meeting
types
with-
to your NPCs to advertising to the products to the consumables in the game. There's so much detail. Even your companions have a whole storyline that you can go and explore. It's absolutely crazy, and I just love how there's so much to the game, but it's not too much that it's in your face. It's spread out really good. So you're not always going to be overwhelmed with things. Like you can go and explore things on your own. You have the opportunity to do whatever you want. And I absolutely, like, I can't stress this enough. I love this game. I love how we have that opportunity. Okay, enough of me blabbing. Clear my schedule. The newcomer has a meeting with me. No, you have a meeting with me. I love some of the attitude that we throw into our dialogue.
Did you hear that power play, Celia? They don't make them like this anymore in Halcyon.
Halcyon, that's how you pronounce it. Okay.
Now, what business brings you here?
Me, I'm charting my own path.
What a charming notion. Forgive me, I'd be positively enraged. Now, there's no need to humor me. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other... Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now.
So-called is right. We've got our hazards, but we're still here, damn it. The board took off without so much as a thought for the folks left behind.
Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading
maybe-
with individual corporations, but given the
Maybe Phineas has a
off-the-books
point when it comes
nature
to
of those
his
transactions, such arrangements
motive.
are precarious.
The board seems to be neglecting a lot of its people. There are like, there's the groundbreaker, which is a separate thing from the board, but there's some sort of peace treaty there. Whereas we've come across quite a few factions that have been abandoned by the board, and maybe we should be helping Phineas out.
Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal.
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
A lot of good that'll do. I'll just find another
Not if we secure the proper safeguards first.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
We like her. We hope to get a
Celia
date
is
with
an
this guy she had a
alarmingly
crush
competent
on.
middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry.
By
The plan
doing
she refers to is a two-pronged
individual
approach,
NPCs
and the
side
first
quests,
part
you'll build up
involves
the
seeing Stellar
reputation
Bay
of the
properly
faction that
defended.
they belong in. So it's a good idea to spend some time doing them if you want to be on their good terms, because you get things like, you know, you can walk in their area without being killed, unless you attack them obviously, and you can get some discount at vendors as well. So it is a good idea to invest into, you know, single NPC storylines, because like I said, you build up the reputation in that faction.
And a Mantisaur problem, and a Marauder problem.
Many, many problems, but they can all be solved with a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive...
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Why, one of the strongest defense... In the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay. Do be careful. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete...
Ooh, we could keep it and sell it. Ooh.
What can I do for you? You're just as rigid as the old executive committee. Why, we've hardly been able to get a clear message out until recent.
When Graham finally shut up.
It isn't easy keeping a town like Stellar Bay afloat, especially without the board's backing. We need... Indeed. That's why it's... And the first step is getting... I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff? Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his
We're
review.
helping him out. We
What
made a
else can I do
friend
for you?
yesterday, and that's the guy that we've just spoken about. Okay. We should be able to fast travel to the location. Oh, we haven't seen this yet. Forks Windows, order now. Adds beauty and verisimilitude to your frontier home. Okay. I love the Moon Man. We actually have his helmet, which you can find on the Groundbreaker. I know some people were interested in that before. So that's on the Groundbreaker. It's cool. It's a low level, but it's definitely an item that stands out. It's one of a kind, so I absolutely love wearing it. That's what it looks like.
Careful. Only things you'll find in the ruins are liable to shoot you or eat you. Or both. Fine.
Ooh. I love this weapon. It's my favorite, hands down. Oh, I got poisoned. You'll be able to find lots of consumables lying around all over the place. You can either use them or you can sell them. It's up to you. Oh, we can use... Hey, I've just realized something. So I was wondering why, like, I have to hold all of these when, you know, I can only equip like a few at a time. You can actually consume them. Hold A to use. Okay, we're definitely going to use them now. It only took us a little bit to... Took us a while to see that though. We should repair our items. Maybe tinker. Yeah, let's increase... To look at how much damage it deals now. That's awesome. We'll break down. We don't have a lot of weapons to break down. Let's see if we can modify. Now this is a light assault rifle MK2. I love this. So this will bring the noise range down. We'll use that. Now this is a magazine, so damage type will be shock. I think happy to leave it as it is. Then we have sights. Oh, we don't have any for sights. So that'll increase the shock type. And we also maybe modify this. No, I think we'll leave that. All right. Oh, this is the information. Okay. Sanja has a bad habit of padding his reports with numbers and statistics, not very good with slogans, jingles and or taglines. Presentations tend to be dry and lacking in emotional appeal and funny references. Also displays a noted tendency to complete work rather than delegating it. Then we got Graham as well. However, Graham has issues with brevity and shows consistent disregard for prescribed fonts and formats. Okay. What about Dora? I don't think we've met Dora yet. He wants us to delete them. I wonder what would have happened if we didn't delete it. I mean, we've read it now, so we know a bit about it. Can't delete the information that's stored in here. Lots of lockpicking we've had to do. Ooh, Corporation Service Award.
Hello? Hello?
This
Get away!
Oh, that's so funny. See, you won't be able to do stuff like that unless you invest in your dialogue skills, which I highly recommend.
Here and a mannequin showed up, then Raptidon. I ran in. Phew. My buddy had a key, but I ain't. Don't look for a dead guy. Sure. Probably. I don't know. When I try to read things, my mind gets to... Huxley. I'm an iconoclast runner. The iconoclast runner. Fastest
Oh,
we've
this
got.
is Huxley
In
that
the
I talked about
Raptidon.
before.
I'm... Oh, that'd be my people. Graham and Zora and Milton and... I really miss them. You gonna let me out of here? Get me out!
Okay, so we have to look for bodies.
Phew. Now I'm out here. And I'm Still landing yourself? Oh, hi, Nyoka. You mind giving me an escort back home? Oh, you're traveling with some... Oh, sure, I'm a runner. I'm used to getting all dizzy and... Hey, who's your identical, slightly blurry friend? Thanks a lot, like...
Thank you, I'll take that. Can I take it? There we go. They're really useful. That's what you need to use to pick things or pick locks. So make sure you are getting them. Oh, it's sleeping. Oh, there's more. So now that we've taken some effect, some damage, we should take something that helps. So armor rating is increased, or... Here we go. Die, 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 die. Good job. So you can command, well, you can change the commands. So you can have your I forgot what you're called. Your companions. I was about to say your comrades, but no, your companions. You can change how you want them to attack. So Nyoka, I've got her as aggressive, which means that she will attack as soon as I engage in battle. You can have them as defensive or passive, so you can choose when you want them to attack. But it's good having her because sometimes I forget that I need to make them attack. So when I had Pravati, because she was defensive, I'd have to manually make her attack, and I always forgot that. We missed Pavati. I accidentally sent her back to the ship. So you can have up to 6 companions, but when you are out in the world, you have a party and you can only have 2 of them go with you. I accidentally sent her back to the ship, so I haven't had time. Well, I mean, I could, but I've been too lazy to go back and get her, so it's alright. Nyoka and I are doing a pretty good job on our own. We thought we'll give her a break.
Be careful with your new friends in Amber Heights. They're not the most reliable types. Anyway? Then it's good that... I've asked myself the same thing many times. Not intentionally. For many years, this planet was home... Really? I always thought they were refreshingly straightforward names. After all, the whole point of terraforming was to make them Earth-like.
Here, though, the results were mixed.
That ain't fair. They didn't leave on account of the hazards. They left on account of their cowardice. The hazards just gave them a reason to put to paper.
Sharp. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out. Our leadership at the time certainly was. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions. It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers.
That's
Even
true.
a cursory review of the data. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out.
Oh, okay.
Creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms. That's what I thought. But the senior executives laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along... Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of... I moved forward with our planned reforms as well. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began
Oh,
official...
makes sense. Okay.
I don't think I realized how far they'd stoop. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their... I do think
That
there's
just shows
something
more about the
useful in a
board.
governing body like the
What's
board.
so good about,
Something that keeps us
spending
from
time and
anarchy, but
investing into
I
these
dearly
dialogue
wish it
options
functioned
is you
differently.
find more information about the world around you. So we've learned that the board really did scoop low here, and maybe they do need to be overthrown.
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in house.
Yeah, that'd go a long way toward rebuilding our homes.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community. And being cut off means slow... I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our heart... Besides, I'm...
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes, it'll... My hope is... What can I do for... Oh, yes. I'm going to be up all night with this. All those...
Try to control your...
Have you any idea how powerful this... What a question! Bureaucratic micromanagement is the only way anything gets done in Halcyon. And For our part, a bill of liquidation/transfer Form 52 will protect our holdings on Monarch by temporarily assigning them to a pass-through entity once we drop our bomb on the board.
Well, he's talking really fast.
Sort of. Really, we're just going to...
But really, whatever gets you excited.
I have reason to believe that one of the other corporations is operating on Monarch, illegally and in secret.
Those bastards. Leave us to our perils, then come back just to reap what they can.
If we can find proof, I can use
So
that
this
as leverage
means
to
a lot to
encourage
Mayoka
certain powers that be to accept our
because
Bolt
she's
52
from this
and
planet.
reinstate us on the board. You really think so? I admit I've been hatching this. If someone is already? If only the rest of the colony operated as efficiently as you. Imagine what a different state we'd be. I'll complete the Bolt 52 in no time. I dare say.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
So I am. That's just cruel and inefficient. I'm working on a plan to reorganize the board. Slowly.
You are?
But that's it.
What about the folks out in the wilderness? Amber Heights, Fallbrook. Will you share?
My sincerest hope is for MSI to become a model for all of Halcyon. But truly, I knew there was something going on. This is exactly the proof we need. The board will I'll transmit this data along with the completed Bolt 52 right away. After that, we'll sit back and quietly wait for the board to respond.
Ooh.
That means no more broadcasts.
Drama's
from
gonna
us.
start.
You aren't supposed to look. I asked you to delete it.
Sorry, it was already open.
Oh, yes. No doubt someone else was having a laugh at my expense before you. This has been my albatross. I give MSI everything. In charge of a scrap heap of a city. Abandoned.
I hope this doesn't affect our reputation.
I hadn't thought of it that way.
Okay,
Thank you. for
see,
that.
we turned a bad situation
Was
into
there
a good
something
one.
else?
Okay. Alright, so that's good. We've got skill points and perk points ready to spend. So we have T3 available. Oh, these tier 3 ones are really good. Ooh. That seems good as well. Oh, that is also good. 2.5 meters is pretty decent. Oh, these tier 3 ones are so good. There's this that I definitely want. Oh. Let's go with this. the Mantisaur. Now that's like your basic Mantisaur. Then there's the Mantisaur Queen. She's a beauty. She has these antennas that make it look like it's a crown. It's actually really cool how she looks. Then you have the Mantis Swarm as well. So it's not just one type. There's like the different branches of the same species, which is really cool. How do I get out of here? Oh, here we go. So we have to speak to the broker, which is Hiram, I think. We've done the things that he needed us to do, so now he should be able to do what we want him to do. So you'll find as you progress through your main missions, there will be side missions that you have to do in order to keep going. It's good. You get XP and you get more opportunities to do quests for, those side quests. So then you got more opportunities to get XP and bits. Who doesn't love that? XP is needed to level up and bits are used to spend and buy stuff. Well, let's see what weapons we can buy.
Do you hear that? It's the blessed sound of radio silence. Yes, indeed. But before we get down...
Does it matter? Job's done.
Is that so? I don't know how. The two are diametrically opposed and impossible to please. But it matters not how you fix my problem. I don't doubt that you are working with Phineas, but my contract specifies I relay any acquired information to the purchaser, and to the purchaser alone. However, to send the data, I will need your assistance in cycling the antenna's receiver, so I can input the needed adjustments. You make it sound so scandalous. Phineas has been in hiding for the past 35 years. He got in touch with Nyoka first, who I use as a physical go-between. The rest is history.
Now you hold on. I do not physically go between anyone but that of my choose. Oh, apologies. You meant, right. Yes, I braved the wilderness, so you don't have to.
Precisely. I really ought to give you a raise.
It's simple, truly. I merely need you to waltz outside and throw the lever to cycle the power. I'll key in the numerical adjustments from in. Terrific.
Ooh. Oh, I don't have enough. Nearly ended up with the border of my trail. We will mark that trail firmly. I like how the robot has hair. It's got a wig on. Titus Androidicus. A new original masterpiece from the director of Agent Khan and Island of Murder. I love how there's all this corporate advertising. With Burbage 2000 and Burbage 3000. They must be the robots.
Testing 1, 2, check. Sweet stars. Oh, and I also dispatched Phineas his data. Impatient prick. Worse, I'm now indebted to him for it. Now I'll kindly thank you
To get out of my tower.
Look, I am well aware that at times I may have the tiniest iota of a prickly exterior. But I must admit I have, as Nyoka can attest, I do not form attachments with many. Do take care.
Why, he told us to leave without flinging insults at our persons. What in the void-blasted hell is...
What is that?
Black holes? Did you... Looks like a UDL ship. Based on the gunnery attachments, I guess it's one of the board's blockade enforcers, but don't cite me on that. Oh well, a pity for... Hiram? Can you hear me? Did you see that?
It's Sanja.
Architect saved me from swindlers and fools. Sanjar, what are you bloody doing on my channel? Did MSI or did MSI not cease broadcasting? Yes, but... Hiram.
Now
are
it's
you
Graham. Oh, they're all communicating together. It's like a three-way phone call. Oh, it's a
there?
reunion.
Oh, without a physical contact waiver. The good captain. The truth brings us together once more. Our salvation has come crashing through
Graham's
the
just full of...
We need only collect its weapons. Are
He
you
needs to just
mad?
stop talking.
That's a UDL gunship. You
I don't know, we're gonna
probably shoot
find
your own
out.
clothes off. I see you learned nothing while dealing with these buffoons. We could use the gunship's armaments to defend Stellar Bay, but we need its targeting module. Our message is so close to breaking free of this planet and spreading to the stars. Help us secure that module and we will save our colony. Listen, I don't care a single whit what you do so long as you leave me out of it. Which means, get off my boy damn channel. I'm more than finished with you lot.
So, we have to... We're going to have two options. To give one to Graham or give it to Sanja. Who are we going to choose? Alright, we will fast travel to the Cascade landing area, and then that way we can go straight to where that UDL ship crashed. I can't remember what UDL stands for, like who they are. But our main mission now is to speak to Phineas. So I don't know. That was really entertaining having all three of them there talk to each other. Okay. Look at the Manti Queen. Burn it. Oh, I love this. Watch her burn.
Covering you! Slugging off that plasma, Captain!
Should they throw fire at us? Oh, look at that headshot.
Plasma isn't working.
You missed me. You missed me again. Oh, so she lets out the swarm. No. Okay, I thought the swarm came from like a hive. Oh, Nyoka's dead. Die! Okay. They're dead. Oh, I now have the swarm attacking me. Now it's dead. That was challenging. Okay. Herpetophobia. So you, after too many encounters with mantipilas and mantisaurs, you are not quite yourself when any of the manti family of creatures are attacking your party. So we get a phobia, but we get a perk point. Let's accept. So one of the catch lines for the game is that you are flawed, but in a good way, meaning that you get offered flaws. So whether you fall and hurt your legs too many times, or you come across too many robots, so it's when like they deal a lot of damage to you, you come across either a phobia or it's just some flaw of yours, and you can choose to accept it, so it has its effects. So if we go into details, I have 3 flaws at the moment. Otherwise, we can decline it. If you accept a flaw, you actually get rewarded with a perk point, which is what we've just gained. So we have a robophobia. I honestly thought I would stop there, but I mean, perk points are useful. So we accepted a corrosive weakness, and now we have herpetophobia. So we got a phobia now. Our perception and temperament are decreased, but I feel like with consumables we can kind of counteract it. So that's why I accepted it, and because I like perk points. It actually shows you. Let's go get a perk. Okay, I want probably this one, or yeah, let's get this one. So that would have been useful in this fight just now.
this area is suicide. If you got a way around it, ain't no shame in taking it.
Oh, I missed. Burn it. I never noticed its eyes before. Got little eyes. What? There's so many of them! Okay, she's dead. There's so many spitting at me. Missed me. There we go. Alright. That's the whole family dead. Oh, look, its head's off. Oh, I got hit. Burn him.
Shreds, you say?
Whoa!
Good score, Cap! Nice shot.
Oh, it's a dead end anyway. Oh, this is it.
You go on ahead, Captain. I'm not keen on ships, even when they're in the best of shape.
Okay. So, eject Captain Matsu's command key, locate targeting module, run diagnostics.
Hello, my name's Jen. I'm the chief engineer on this gunship, and I'd like to let the record show that our captain is a fucking hullhead. I told him again and again that without fixing our regulators, spinning up the engines are going to blow through our coils and we'll go flying off in a completely random direction. Well, here we are. Will his soil
This is tripping me out because it's like on an angle. Okay, so now we have the option. I'd rather give it to Senja than Graham. So now there's going to be times, this is the second time now, we've had to choose one faction over the other. Okay, so we can either give it to Senja, so we ally with the MSI, or we give it to Graham and ally with the Icon class. So I wonder if we were to give it to Senja, whether the Icon class our reputation will decrease to the point where it's kill on sight. I don't know, but let's find out. My gut feeling is to go with Senja for sure.
Incoming!
Oh, these ones are running. No! There's another one. Mega Raptidon, no. Burn it. Burn it. Where'd they all come from? There's so many of them. What? No! Okay, I can't sprint because I'm carrying too much. Oh, right in the face. Okay, it's dead. Look at the size of it. That thing, it's been eating too much. Now, one thing you have to note is when you're carrying too many items, you cannot fast travel. So we might have to destroy some things. Ooh. Is there that perk? Oh, I don't have a perk point though. I know there's perks where you can increase your storage, but I don't have that yet. The carrying capacity is increased. Is there a perk? Let's go. Oh, okay. Alright. There it is. So that costs one perk point. I'm still carrying too many things. What if I consume some items? Okay, let's just get rid of that. There we go. Alright, we cannot pick up anything else. Let's fast travel. So, Graham is in that location and that direction. Senja is in, so it's pretty much east from us. We're near hostiles. So we have got to get out of this area. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna side with Sanja. What's really off-putting is that both Graham and Senja had two NPCs that were involved in their main storyline that were really compelling. Like, I liked both of them, and I feel like it's supposed to throw you off a bit because you're like, well, let's look at the NPCs around them, but hey, they're both good. Because we helped Senja's sidekick get a date, and she was really nice about everything, and she's always been nice. Then the other girl, I think her name was Val maybe, she's with Graham. She was caring more about, you know, the people in their community, how they need food and med supplies. So I feel like these female leaders are supposed to throw us off because they're both really nice, and they both had good, like, they both got morals, whereas the men, like Sanja and Graham, even some of the other females in like most of the leaders of the factions, they're quite questionable. You're like, well, they're so their eyesight is just on their goal. What about, you know, the overall goal for their community? Whereas their sidekicks tend to have a look at that side of things, and then you're like, oh, well, maybe I should side with this faction, or but no, this faction's good. So I feel like the NPCs on the sidelines, they're supposed to make you question, you know, things. And it's done a good job, because it's like, well, if you look at just Senja and Graham, you're like, okay, definitely I think Senja is the better pick. But then, you know, Graham's sidekick, she really had her heart in the right place. So it's like, oh, who do I choose? That's how I see things. I tend to look at like details within characters and their personalities. And I feel like the game makers did that for a reason, because it's not supposed to be easy decisions. It's supposed to be hard. I mean, it is an RPG game. So you gotta stick with your decisions, but think before you make those decisions.
For a peaceful monarch. I don't suppose you've found the targeting module yet. I've sent patrol.
Well, let's see where this could
They're
go.
all mad. And what's more, they left us. I don't see any way for us to work together. Not this again.
Remember what we practiced, sir.
Yes. The words in those reviews were... You two?
She has a point, sir, and it's not all bad.
Supposing you're right, who exactly would you have me work with? The iconoclasts are not the most compromising sorts. How do these things ever start? Once upon a time, Graham and I saw the same problems with MSI. A rigid corporate structure with no regard for its people. But where I wanted to reform MSI, he only wanted to take it apart. As if starving in the wilderness is somehow better than starving under corporate mismanagement. He won't hear reason now, and I wouldn't trust him again.
There we go,
That's an interesting
Zora.
suggestion. I confess I don't know much about her except that she worked for Rizzo.
There ain't a body on this planet that can keep a group patched up like she has. I don't know how she does it.
I'd be willing to consider it, but I need to see her review first. Excellent. Her review would be in the Rizzo offices in Cascadia. Bring it to me, and I'll see if she's qualified.
Now you want to look at reviews? I thought you didn't like yours.
That's surprising. The board's equipment is usually in top shape. A conspiracy? You've spent too much time around Graham. Well, because the module... Because once we mount them on Stellar Bay's walls, no Marauder or Raptidon will ever be a threat to us. Stellar Bay will be... The board's own salvage and recovery clause 32B would...
And they won't dare challenge us over this. Not after the data you found on their experiments here.
Good, because...
So then we speak to Zora. See, funny I mentions that, and then someone brought up, you know, why don't you, well, we had the opportunity to kind of cause them to sort their differences aside, but he didn't want to, doesn't want to trust Graham, and then we're like, what about Zora? And funny, I was just talking about how she actually has good morals. And Nyoka seems to think the same thing.
The gunship. Have you secured its target? Mount its guns to our walls or the walls of Stellar Bay. The board is coming, Captain, and these weapons will defend us from their blasphemy. Why wouldn't they? As we speak, our message assaults their populace through their favorite entertainment mediums. All right. The iconoclasts are free folk. We live under our rules, Meanwhile, the boards, we seek to... This is not... Before all this, I'd be certain... That came much later, after Sanjar had taken over. I'd known a little about philosophism on the fringes of society. The freedom. The gunship. Have you secured its targeting module? At last. Now we must secure the...
I'm all for fighting the board and all, but... Oh, shit. Just don't shoot too many of my drinking buddies in there, all right?
And you, Captain. No. Our hearts have long since closed to one another. Time is of the essence, Captain.
Where's the door? Oh, it's here.
Something on your mind, Captain? Too bad. Had I a reliable third party I could trust to set up a meet, maybe I'd consider it. With all the help you've done here, at first I thought it could have been you. But I can't trust you to think logically. Your priorities are skewed a bit too much like Graham's. For all I know, Sanjar's playing you to get to us and you can't see it. So no. In another life, maybe that could have worked out for all of us. In this one, we're going to war.
Why?
Hey. What?
Really?
Sorry.
I stood up
Wrong
for
day.
you. I stood up for you. You don't want to... Are they dead? No, they're just sleeping. Can I wake them up? Can I jump on the beds? 3 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off. I don't know how it goes. Wake up. Wake up. No, okay. I'll let you sleep.
Nice day, huh? A monarch, anyway.
I want to steal, but she'll kill me. So what happens now? So see where the ship lands. They could still stick the landing. Hey Grumpy Dragons, how are you today? I hope not. I really hope not. Oh, yes. Darren, that's how it goes. And then you go down to 4, 3, 2, 1. And then it's like, no monkeys. How do I... Oh, yeah, here. Well, I don't plan to get stuck, so should be good. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. That's how it goes. I remember now. I was jumping on them, they didn't move, but I reckon if I was to shoot a gun, they'd wake up. If I was to steal something in the room next to them, they would wake up and start killing me. It's how it works. Alright, so we need to speak to Phineas. You know what's really cool? We could store our items in here. So I had someone ask me about a storage system in the game. But I feel like there's no need to have something added because you can transfer items in here on your ship. They're not like, no one's going to steal them. But hey, I just noticed I could pick this. Alright, so I have to go speak to Phineas now. Wow. That was a long time.
Now arriving at Phineas's top secret orbital lab.
Alright, let's speak to Phineas. I should probably store some items. Oh, we have a backpack modification. Why don't I modify my gear, what I'm wearing? Let's see if we can modify it. We've got bits to just spend. Ooh, whoa, that's a lot. There's like 3,000 bits. Let's just do it. Alright, we're not spending any more. That's it. What about we repair? Do we need to repair items? Also, there's N-ray, or we can do shock. I think we'll leave it. Actually, let's increase shock. And we'll transfer some... Actually, everything that when... let me do this. So, I'm going to transfer the items that I want to keep, but I don't want to get rid of. There we go, because I'm not going to use them anytime soon. Let's take Felix. We haven't had Felix out with us for a while. So we've left Pavati on the ship. She can have some time talking to her lover. Felix, we don't really know much about Felix. We do have a mission quest lined up for him, although we haven't embarked on it yet. So maybe after we finish this mission here, we can invest some time into Felix. See, now he doesn't trust us enough to place, like he places a wall between us.